This is one video for the price of 3. We'll be covering 3 diagrams from the book as they are closely connected. For this reason, this video is slightly long as it covers lots of points, but let's get started. To some, the word somatosensory cortex may seem a bit of a mouthful, but when anything seems complicated, the best way to tackle it is just to break it down. So somato comes from the word soma, meaning body. So it's something related to our whole body. Sensory is obviously related to the senses. And cortex is used in anatomy frequently, and it describes the outer layer of a structure. In this case, the brain. The word cortex comes from the Latin word for bark, like the bark of a tree. Let's start in reverse order and explain the term cortex. The diagram shows the left-hand side of the human brain. And if we were to cut a slice out of the whole brain, say the thickness of a slice of bread, at this point, and turn it by 90 degrees, we would see something like this. Left and right may seem the wrong way around for you, but remember in anatomy, left and right are always the subjects, left and right. One instant thing we notice is that there seems to be 2 main colours of tissue. Grey, mostly on the surface, and white, mostly on the inside. Grey matter can be thought of as the processing part of the brain. It's the place where sense is made of all the electrical signals coming and going to all the parts of the body. Think of it as a microprocessor chip in a computer. Grey matter, by the way, is actually pink in a live brain because of all the blood vessels. It's only grey in preserved bits of dead brain. Much of the grey matter is located on the outside surface of the brain, so forming the bark or cortex of the brain. Having said this, there are pockets of grey matter deeper in the brain substance, where they form nuclei controlling some basic functions of the body. White matter. Now, if grey matter is likened to a computer processor chip, white matter is like the wiring connecting all the different areas of grey matter. That your colour white comes from a fatty substance called myelin, which acts to insulate nerves from one another, somewhat like the plastic sleeves on electric wires, which stops them shorting between each other. The myelin also helps speed up conduction of nerve impulses, so the messages reach their destination sooner. When talking about the somatosensory cortex, we're referring to the grey outer layer of the brain at the position indicated in the diagram. The somatosensory cortex has a map of the whole body contained within it. And a bit later in this video, we will see what that map looks like. But first, a little bit of explanation of how the map is produced. In this figure, A shows a frontal view of the brain and spinal cord. Parallel to the spinal cord is a row of something called ganglia, which we'll explain shortly. Although only shown on one side of the spinal cord, these ganglia actually occur on both sides. In B, we see a close-up of the connections of the touch receptors on the right hand with the brain. When the finger comes in contact with something solid, touch receptors are activated and produce electrical signals. These signals are taken along nerves, indicated by the red line, which travel along the hand, along the arm, and then to the spinal cord, and up the spinal cord to the level of the brainstem. This makes a connection with another set of neurons, which takes it higher up, and then eventually to the cortex of the brain. And in this case, because we're talking about touch, it's the somatosensory cortex. If you're wondering what those ganglia are, then C shows them close up. All nerve cells have a cell body that contains DNA. The cell bodies are larger than the diameter of the nerves, and they gather together in specific areas and appear as swellings, and these give rise to ganglia. Just as the hand sent its signals to a specific part of the somatosensory cortex, so does each part of the body. The signals are organised so all the signals, say from the face, are sent to the same region of the brain. Similarly for the torso, legs, arms and feet, etc. One thing you'll notice is the body is not represented in the same proportion as in the physical body. So the face is as large as the arm and shoulder combined. The reason for this is that the face is more sensitive to touch than the arms and shoulder. The other thing to notice is that one half of the body, say the right half of the body, is mapped onto the left side of the brain and vice versa. Why this crosses over like this is a mystery. If we were to reconstruct how the brain sees the body, this is how it would look. And it is called an homunculus. Notice how the face, especially the lips and the tongue and the hands and feet, are disproportionately larger than other areas of the body. These are areas of higher touch sensitivity than other parts of the body.